So once again, season's greetings to everyone. Now this is video one of that, series of videos, thought-provoking videos that I'm going to shoot, which you hopefully find interesting and you hopefully follow, because what I want to do is I want to see if we all come to the same conclusion at the end of it. Now, as you know, I'm not particularly a great talker and I'm not a great storyteller, but I do believe I have a fantastic message to share. So please bear with me and let's get on with it. Now, okay, for this video, what I want to do is I want to be able to take you back 400 years to when the game of golf first started. And what I want to do is I want to show you that there probably was a particular occasion that actually decided the direction that we went on for the 400 years after that, and has pretty much decided how we think today. So going back, it would have been very similar to how it is today, and there would have been good players and bad players. Now, on this particular occasion that decided our direction, there would have been a bad player, and he was probably suffering a little bit extra with his game, and he decided to go up to the best player in the club, which we all, perfectly natural thing to do. We would have all done the same, gone to the best player of the club and said, excuse me, but please, can you tell me what I'm doing wrong? And what's the right way? What do you know? Help me with my game. Now, the good player, he already knows he's the best player in the club probably. But all of a sudden, in this little exchange we've got between these two people, he's been actually deemed as the expert in this situation, the expert. And suddenly we have teacher and student. Now, he could have easily turned around and said, well, actually, I've got no idea. You have to find your own way. And well, as we might see, that might not have been such a bad option. However, I don't think he would have done that. Well, for a couple of reasons. Is one, he probably was a very decent human being. And of course, he wanted to help the guy. But also, all of a sudden, he's been put on a pedestal and seen as the expert. And probably what would have happened is his shoulders might have gone back like this and his voice might have deepened, because he would have felt, suddenly I'm the expert. Oh, yes. And he would have felt that he had to give a very knowledgeable and right kind of sounding bit of advice, because I'm the expert. So what we've done, perfectly natural human response, and it's something that we're all afflicted with, we've introduced ego into the situation. Going on from this, as we know, a few years later, we turned this situation actually into a profession. Now, all of a sudden, we've got professional golfers, professional golf coaches. And when it becomes professional, of course, we're now introducing money. Yes, good old money. So now we've got ego, money, and with those things probably comes, well, let's say marketing. As time goes on and there's a bit of competition between us all those three things. So now ego, money, and marketing is going to decide a lot of the direction that we're going to go in. From this point onwards, everything has to be, right, I suppose, and make sense, at least from one perspective. It has to be believable, has to be interesting, probably has to carry a bit of weight. We've got to talk. We've got to talk like the expert, like we said, in the right way, probably use some rather complicated words, because that makes it sound much better. And it wouldn't hurt if we introduce, a bit of technology. That wouldn't hurt. That carries a bit of weight. And of course, as we see, it's all got to be rather sellable and marketable. But the one thing it doesn't ever have to be, it doesn't have to be entirely the truth. I mean, yes, maybe the truth from one perspective, but not necessarily from all perspectives. Now, I say this because as I've learned things, I don't think from the beginning that we've ever really understood quite the complexity and difficulty of the task that we're trying to solve. And certainly this amateur, all those years back, he had no idea the kind of difficulty in the question that he was asking. And well, although this might sound very negative, as I've learned, it's actually this, and then the knowing that we don't know, put together with the understanding that we couldn't possibly know, and why that is the thing that leads to all these kinds of new possibilities, this ease to problem solve and improve and take away all those limitations. That's as I've learnt it, learning this slightly better understanding and knowing that we don't know. So I'm going to finish this video by just simply asking the question is it possible that ego, money and marketing has started us off and led us in the wrong direction altogether? And if, for example, humility, truth and integrity had led the way, would that have taken us on a completely different direction, and actually a direction that would have helped golfers in a far better way? And just as a short disclaimer to this video, nobody set out in a direction to deliberately hurt people. And actually, we've all done the best that we possibly could. It's just that ego, money and marketing was bound to set us out in a certain direction, and arguably far from the best one. So that's it for the first video. And we're going to follow this up in the second video. And we're really going to try and get to the bottom of this. So we'll see if we all come to those same conclusions at the end of it. So thanks for listening today, and we'll see you in video 2.